So we are back on YouTube, and I wanted to start by doing a series of sort of getting back into shape, but not to a level of getting on stage. I've over the last 2 years definitely haven't been very active on social media or YouTube especially, just because with the birth of my son and also with a job role, a change of jobs, same role but different company, different sort of park where I work, I've had a bit too much to focus on that part of my life, and I've not been able to sort of concentrate on my fitness as much as I would like. So knowing that, I've obviously let certain things go, and having a small child and also a full-time job where I work 9 till 6 most days. A lot of people don't see that, and they just think I must live in the gym and obviously eat nothing but chicken, broccoli and rice, which most people still do think. So I just wanted to do a video, and I also wanted to do a vlog, to sort of follow a journey where you can be as busy as physically possible with work, with a child, and sort of doing everything else, and still having a nice sort of, your evenings out, you sort of, obviously when you can go out and about and do things, enjoy time with family and friends, as well as sort of stay in shape. So now that things aren't the same as what they were when I was competing, where I could focus on nothing but the competitions, I still had a job back then, but I could actually just focus. I was more focused on my competing than I was actually on my job, which was, it's a terrible thing to say. I'm sure my previous bosses wouldn't like to hear that, but it was the truth. I had a goal, I achieved, I would say, a big part of that goal. There was a bit more to it, but when my son was born and with everything going on, I just thought I needed to put my time and energy and effort into that instead of continuing to try and achieve something just that I really did want to achieve. But obviously you have to make sacrifices, and I wasn't willing to do that in order to achieve that goal. I thought I would have been sacrificing too much and not being able to sort of support my family and the people who needed me more at that time. So I'm going to start with this video, and this is the one that I wanted to get out the way the most. Throughout the next couple of weeks, I will sort of keep a track of what I'm eating, what I'm training, how I'm training. The more when I start to train a little bit more, now that we've just come out of a lockdown here in England, I have started getting back into a regular sort of training pattern. A lot of it, and as I will sort of rant on these videos, I didn't want to do this on Facebook and Instagram because I do sometimes think they're just a bit too long, whereas obviously 5 to 10 minutes on a YouTube video, where I can just sort of explain why I'm doing what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. I just think if it's something you want to follow, people want to follow and know, I just think it's a bit easier for people to digest and watch. Obviously being talking about habits, I have over the last 1.5 to 2 years, I've lost my going to the gym as much as I wanted to and as much as I used to, where I would train minimum 5 weight sessions a week. I would also do some form of cardio throughout the week, a couple of mornings a week. That disappeared, so to a point where I was able to maybe go to the gym 3-4 times a week, and I would be happy with that. That was good enough as a maintenance sort of amount to train. When we were in 2020, when we went into the lockdown in March, April, I actually went about 2-3 months where I didn't train at all. And that is what's sort of led me for my habits to become even worse, and diet to go completely out the window. So I want to, over the next few weeks, I'll be explaining what changes I'm making, how I'm doing it, in bite-sized chunks to sort of naturally progress. It's not going to be straight away to a really strict regimental diet that I won't enjoy, and I know I won't stick to. I haven't got a big enough goal to make me think I definitely can't have that chocolate bar, I can't have that packet of crisps. I will eat it. And the problem has been over the last maybe year, a whole year now, where I've just thought I've literally eaten anything and everything I want, and I've still eaten 5-6 times a day. So it's not like I've reduced the amount of times I eat, where I'm just filling it with crappy food, what I want to eat. So now I need to make the change. And this video is going to be the worst one for me. So getting this video out the way is going to make me feel a lot better. If I can post this and get this out to the world, or to whoever's watching, of course, I think my next couple of videos I'll feel less sort of less embarrassed to do, because this is the one where I'm going to physically show you the condition I'm in, the state I'm in. I've literally just finished work today, and I will sort of explain that as well. I'll talk more about the hours I do, when I do get a chance to eat and when I don't, and why I haven't. There'll be times where I will fall off track, and I will explain that, and each week I will sort of keep an accountability factor of why I haven't done something, why I should have, could I have, and should I have, and also why didn't I if I didn't. And I sort of want people to be able to feel the same and think the same. And you'll be able to message me on Instagram, obviously in the comment section below on this video, that you could, and we can obviously talk, and you can see ways of how you can change what you're doing, and it will really motivate me to sort of make sure I do what I'm saying I'm going to do. So I think that's the biggest part of this as well. So, and it's all to sort of be a bit more relatable to everyone. So you'll see that I'm not just a person who can be in the gym all the time constantly, because a lot of people did think that I didn't have any other things to worry about bar work. I could spend all the time I needed in the gym. I could do as much cardio as I needed to get into the condition I used to get into. So now that's not the case. I have a job which is a really good job. I have people who I can't let down there, and I don't want to let down. So I have to work harder, whereas I used to put eating before seeing, customers and things like that before, for a few years, in order to get in the condition I did. So I just prioritize things differently. And now, obviously, with my son and with my fiance, I want to make sure I'm there for them enough as well, which is more important than anything. So so I will be creating ways of keeping a structure, and I will be able to share that with anybody watching this, and anybody who's got questions. You can send me messages on my Instagram, and also obviously on this video. So the worst part of all of this, which is what I'm about to do now, is the state of my condition now, and I'm not happy with it. And that's another thing. I'm not going to say I look really bad, because I like to think I don't. But if you look at my previous videos, which was my last posted videos in 2018, the second from last video I posted was actually of me winning the British Championships in 2018 October time. Now I look at that video and I watch, there's a scene in that where I was making my food before and getting ready for that day. I was cooking the food for the day of what I was going to eat before I actually got on stage. And there's a small clip of me at the cooker, and basically I take my top off to show you how I look that morning. And the biggest part of my body that I really, really miss, if I can say there's an area that I want to work on and get back, good again, is my shoulders. So obviously I'm not good enough yet to be able to, on this video, to say, this is what I look like and have a picture up here next to my head. But you can obviously see the video that is on my YouTube channel. So let's get this out of the way. So if I just show you how I look currently, and I'll do it in this video because obviously with photos you can sort of Photoshop and sort of change things here and there. So let's get that done. As you can see, I've just come straight from work. Today is Monday the 7th of December, I want to say. And I'm going to go to the gym not long after this. I'm going to sort of start being a bit more prepared in everything I do and sort of even write down what I do. So we are looking at not flexed. I want to say not flexed. So the biggest change has been my waistline for sure. I haven't been doing much cardio at all. So and when I'm sitting down, I notice it terribly. I don't know about others. Obviously, you can sort of hide it when you're standing up and breathing in. So, and also the size of my arms, they won't have changed much, but they don't look good in the fact that they're not toned. Also, I've got my shoulders. I feel like I've lost lots of depth, and my back definitely has changed quite a lot, which I won't go into too much detail right now. But what I will do is put on on the description below. I will put my measurements for my arms, my measurements for my waist, and also my chest and back size, because one thing I want to change drastically and fast, if I'm honest, is my chest and back and shoulders. I've lost a lot of size in my upper sort of part. I've lost a lot of size there, and I've gained a lot of size on my waist. So I'll be putting the measurements on. I'll do the measurements now, and I'll put them on the description below, so you'll be able to see what my sort of size is of those measurements, and then you can see the change that I will do. Now, you can't set a goal and I'm not going to set a stupid goal and like say I'm going to have this done in 3 months, which I actually have done big transformations in 3 months before, because obviously to get ready for a show, I've always tried to keep as much size as possible, but I was starting from a good form of lots of training, lots of good foods, not the type of foods I've been eating for the last a year and a half. So I always started from a better point. It was a fat that I could have sort of got rid of faster, whereas this is going to be different. So I'm going to set myself a target of around 6 to 7 months. So around next June, my goal is to have definitely good, clear, visible abs. Not as good as I used to have, but definitely something more visible and clear. A waist around my sort of 30-inch sort of waist. I know right now I'm about 34, 35, something like that. I'll confirm that in the description. And then it's a case of doing it naturally, doing it sort of slowly as well, and not doing it in a way that I'm going to really hate my life. Because there was times in my when I was getting ready to do a competition, as I'm sure you've probably heard through lots of other videos if you've watched anything along these lines, it's pretty horrific, and there's days where you're on low carbs and you physically can't sort of be as active as you like to be because you're that drained of energy. And I've been through those days obviously enough times, which if anybody's followed me on this before, you'd have seen at that time. But I don't want to reach those levels again. So yeah, and I want to be able to go to sort of gatherings and parties and whatever we are allowed to do next year, fingers crossed, and enjoy eating good food and not being stressed or worried in any way, shape or form. So little things just want to mention. I will be posting more motivational things on this as well, and some of my rants will be motivational things that I find have helped me massively sort of create a stronger mindset in order to sort of keep doing what I'm doing. So that's more to come, but for this video I've done this in one take, so if I've made mistakes of where I've spoke, I'm not going to cut and crop and anything like that. This is a one-off video, just to sort of get me started and get it out there. And if And I please hope that you do follow this journey and get some sort of inspiration and motivation from it. And down the line, obviously, we can even sort of discuss and work together and help anyone and everyone sort of get a better structure for training, for eating, and sort of just enjoy a process instead of absolutely hate and think that it's really, really hard to get into a better condition and shape than we all currently are in. So I'll leave that for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you on the next one.